What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Pounce Talk Live. I am your man, Montez Sorrells. I am the Pounce Coach, and thank you again for tuning in to Tuck Radio's Pounce Talk Live. It's been a wonderful day. It's been a wonderful week, and we are excited about being with you all on another Thursday evening with some great Pounce Talk, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for all of our listening audience, those that are listening to us via tuckradio.com, those that are viewing and listening to us via Facebook Live. We appreciate you being a part of this week's live broadcast of Pounce Talk Live. I'm excited today. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you guys, but this week has it's been a bit of a challenge this week. There's been a lot of unforeseen circumstances. There's been a lot of, wrenches that have been thrown into the ointment, so to speak. And there's been some ups and some downs and some potholes, but we're still here, and I want to encourage you. You're still here. You're still living. You still have the activities of your limbs, and that in itself is an accomplishment. So kudos to you. So before we get into the meat and the potatoes of tonight's broadcast, we are elated and excited about bringing before you one day out. Actually, we're a few hours out of tomorrow evening's The I've Changed stage play, ladies and gentlemen. Rojo presents I've Changed stage play. This thing is stacked, y'all. We've got some phenomenal actors and actresses and singers that are on the ballot. We also have some local talent that will be a part of this wonderful, wonderful production. It is a stage play about the powerful story of 4 women dealing with their hurts, hang-ups, and habits, healing from the inside out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our very own Rojo Productions. This is going to be taking place tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, y'all, if you have not gotten your tickets, you will be missing out, ladies and gentlemen. This will take place tomorrow evening, Friday, tomorrow evening, May 11th at 7 p.m. At the Cincinnati Christian University. That's 2700 Glenway Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, you are definitely going to be in for a treat. This is an awesome Mother's Day gift. Shout out to all the mothers that will be celebrating Mother's Day this weekend. Shout out to all the wives that take care of their mothers. Shout out to all the single mothers. I am a proponent and a product of single mother parenting, but we appreciate all the mothers here at Pounce Talk Live. We appreciate the contributions that you're making, not only in our homes, but in our lives, in our children's lives, and so forth. So again, we appreciate all of the mothers out there. Listen, you need to take your mother, you need to take your wife or your significant other, your baby mama, whatever. You need to take her to this stage play, ladies and gentlemen, because it's going to be off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. We got some local talent, that'll be present as well. Shout out to comedian Boo Man. Shout out to Lamont Hill. Shout out to Danisha Gaston. Shout out to everybody that is affiliated with the I've Changed stage play. We appreciate Tuck Radio, Pounce Talk Live for the opportunity to promote and to endorse this play. Shout out to all the vendors that will be available there. It's going to be a wonderful time, y'all. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time, y'all. Shout out to our host. Our host for the evening for that stage play is Tuck Radio's own comedian Jabron Arnold. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are in for a treat, y'all. I'm telling you, you guys are in for a treat. So it's going to be an off the chain evening, ladies and gentlemen. The play will start. The doors will open at 7 o'clock, I believe. And so, ladies and gentlemen, you need to get there early. Just got word the comedian Jabron Arnold is at rehearsal right now. They are preparing to produce and to present a wonderful, exciting production on tomorrow evening. So we are excited about that. We also want to acknowledge Tuck Radio's own. We appreciate all the Tuck Radio, all of the different broadcasts that are going throughout the week. I believe we play the best in gospel music and R&B, but we want to shout out the relationship hour that takes place on Mondays here at Tuck Radio. We want to shout out Wind Down Wednesdays that takes place here at Tuck Radio. And then Thursday is my evening for Pounce Talk Live with Montez Sorrells, the Pounce Coach. So we appreciate everybody here at Tuck Radio. So this portion, this segment of the broadcast is one that is very near and dear to my heart, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been doing this since we've been connected with Tuck Radio. We are getting into the segment where we announce our Pouncer of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, I get excited. I get excited when we talk about our Pouncer of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, what is the Pouncer of the week? The Pouncer of the week is an individual or individuals that models what it really means to be a pouncer, ladies and gentlemen. So what does it really mean to be a pouncer? A pouncer is an individual that takes initiative. A pouncer is an individual that doesn't wait for an invitation to go after their dreams and their goals and their purposes. A pouncer is an individual that is intentional about doing whatever it takes to get closer to what it's after, to get closer to what it's pursuing. A pouncer is an individual that exhibits determination, ambition, and initiative and attitude and from an aggressive standpoint as it relates to their purpose, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that said, we are always looking and always observing, ladies and gentlemen, individuals that model these type of characteristics. So here at Pounce Talk Live, we want to make known tonight, our Pouncer of the Week is an individual that has really exhibited what it really means to pounce, ladies and gentlemen. This person is a college graduate. This person is a phenomenal helper, is a phenomenal friend. They are a business-oriented individual, ladies and gentlemen. This individual has launched out into entrepreneurship land. Yeah, shout out to all the entrepreneurs here in the city of Cincinnati, ladies and gentlemen, and all those that are listening to me all over the country. Ladies and gentlemen, we support and we promote entrepreneurship. But this Pouncer has walked out on the waters of entrepreneurship. It has not been easy, but this person has stayed and remained consistent. This individual is one that is a supporter of all people, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to find this person at everybody's event, supporting, showing love, showing encouragement and motivation to others, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about not what we can do for ourselves, but also what we can do and supply for other individuals. This person is a God-fearing believer. This person loves family. This person loves making their own money. This person is a giver. This person is a friend in the time of need. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that she is one of the most creative individuals that I've ever met, and I'm going to get a little braggy, ladies and gentlemen. She is just recently found out that she is family. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to announce our Pouncer of the Week. Our Pouncer of the Week is the CEO of Think About It LLC. It is a marketing firm where they actually assist individuals in spreading their brand and expanding their brand and their reach of their brand. She does all things marketing. She does all things marketing, ladies and gentlemen. So if you got a business, whether big or small, you need to connect with her. Our Pouncer of the Week here at Pounce Talk Live on this segment here at Tuck Radio is none other than Miss Jovan Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Jovan Walker. Those that are watching me via Facebook Live, please get on the phone, let her know she is the Pouncer of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your entrepreneurship endeavors. We appreciate what you're doing in the community. We appreciate what you do and the impact that you have around all those that are near and dear to your heart, Miss Jovan Walker. We salute you here at Pounce Talk Live, and we celebrate you for being the Pouncer of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. So those that are real well connected with Jovan Walker, please let her know that the Pounce coach has paid homage and has given her some honor tonight. We appreciate your Pounce. We appreciate your journey of Pounce. We appreciate your initiative and your ambition, and we support you, and we hope nothing but the best for you. So again, our Pouncer of the Week, ladies and gentlemen, this week is Miss Jovan Walker, CEO of Think About It LLC, her marketing firm. So again, we appreciate you guys for that. Hey, all those that are joining me Facebook Live and are listening to me, my listening audience here in Internet Radio Land, we got a wonderful segment that we produced and rehearsed for that we want to get out there tonight. If you want to participate in the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to drop a comment down. Hey, my man is on. Shondo Blaze, ladies and gentlemen. Shondo Blaze is on. We appreciate him being on tonight. Please, if you are enjoying the conversation, want to add input to the conversation, if you're watching us via Facebook Live, please drop a comment in the comment section, and we want to take your calls tonight. We want to take your calls, ladies and gentlemen. Your input is important to us here at Tuck Radio, here at Pounce Talk Live, so please, we want you to give us a call here at the station. That number is 513 513-792-2894. That's 513-792-2894. Please write your comments, and we will read them out loud and give you feedback. We want you guys to participate in what we're doing here at Tuck Radio, and we want you to be a part of the conversation. So as we started with last week, we announced that May is the month of mental health awareness. Month is Mental Health Awareness Month, ladies and gentlemen. And we think it's important here at Pounce Talk Live that we really become very intentional about supporting our mental health, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's a lot of emphasis on our physical health. There's a lot of emphasis on making sure that our temples, because we believe our temples are, our bodies are our temples. And so we put a lot of emphasis on going to the gym, eating the correct things. We want to send a special shout out for 30 Under 30 recipient DeVoe Sherman, ladies and gentlemen. DeVoe Sherman has just joined us live on Facebook. We appreciate you being a part of this conversation, man. We appreciate you joining us here at Pounce Talk Live. DeVoe Sherman, ladies and gentlemen. DeVoe Sherman, 30 Under 30 recipient. We appreciate you and we celebrate you here at Pounce Talk Live. But again, there's a lot of emphasis on physical health, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of emphasis on physical health and taking care of our bodies and you know, going to the gym and nutrition and fitness and health consciousness and whatnot. And that's great. But here at Tuck Radio, here at Pounce Talk Live, we not only believe that you should prosper in physical health, but we also believe that you should prosper in mental health, ladies and gentlemen. Mental health is important. And if not, and I like to stretch out and say, you know, it may be more important than physical health, because the body cannot exist without the mind, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's important for us to really become intentional about what we're doing from a health standpoint in making sure that we're remaining health conscious. Shout out to Dorena Ward. Shout out to you, sis. We appreciate you supporting us tonight. But like I said, it's important for us to take our mental health seriously. And my special guest will be coming into the studio very, very soon. He is a licensed professional counselor, Mr. Andre Carpenter. He's a licensed professional counselor. He'll be joining us a little later. He'll be coming into the studio a little later. But it's important that we understand that our mental health needs to be a priority, ladies and gentlemen. How do we manage our stress? How do we manage dealing with pressure? How do we manage anxiety, ladies and gentlemen? All of that, it impacts our mental health from a negative standpoint or a positive standpoint. And so we talked about last week, we touched on these items a little bit last week on some critical psychological elements and characteristics of resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that it's important for us to become resilient in life. There's a lot of things that will come into our life, or a lot of things that we experience that will kind of knock us back against the wall, ladies and gentlemen. But I believe that we need to dig down deep, and we have to reach forth that lion that's on the inside of us, and we must remain resilient, ladies and gentlemen. We must remain resilient. We must remain tough, ladies and gentlemen. As my brother would say, we got to get 1% better every single day, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Shondo Blades again for that. But listen, I think it's important for us to be not to become too deep when it comes to becoming resilient, so to speak. But we've got to make this thing practical. So here are some very practical elements and characteristics of resilience. The first thing we want to mention is optimism, ladies and gentlemen. It is important that we keep a mindset of positivity, ladies and gentlemen. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And it's important that we keep a clear mindset of who we are and not allow what we're in currently or what we're facing currently or even atmospheres to alter our moods, ladies and gentlemen. And that can be very difficult sometimes. That can be very difficult, ladies and gentlemen, but we've got to become intentional in keeping the proper mindset even when we're going through some trying situations, ladies and gentlemen. So optimism is very key. Those who are, what we found out is those who are extremely optimistic tend to show greater resilience. Those who are extremely optimistic seem to have the tendency of being greater, of showcasing greater resilience, ladies and gentlemen, which has, ladies and gentlemen, and has been psychologically proven, which has implication for cognitive therapies that enhance a patient's positive view of his or her options, thereby increasing optimism. Ladies and gentlemen, what is impacting your ability to have a positive mindset? What is impacting your ability to have a positive outlook on your life, ladies and gentlemen? And whatever you find, whatever you discover that is impacting your ability to remain positive, you ought to make an intentional effort to eliminate those negative energies, ladies and gentlemen, to eliminate those negative distractions, ladies and gentlemen. That may mean you may need to walk away from a friendship or two. That may mean you may need to close off an individual for a season. That may mean you may need to walk away from a certain activity that is causing you to be in a pessimistic, negative mindset, ladies and gentlemen. But you have to understand that you got to become aggressive in pouncing great mental health. And one of the ways you can do that is remaining optimistic. Ladies and gentlemen, we would love for you to participate in this conversation. Please give us a call here at the station. We want to take your calls live. DeVoe, you out there? I see you out there, man. Please give us a call if you can. My number here at the station is 513-792-2894. That's 513-792-2894. If you got any comments you want to add to the conversation, you have any questions, please join us. Please give us a call here live at the station. We would love to have your input. So optimism is a great key in building resilience. Another key in building resilience is having a moral compass, ladies and gentlemen. What's a moral compass? What is a moral compass? It is a set of beliefs that cannot be shattered, ladies and gentlemen. We have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that in order to have great mental health, we got to have great character. We've got to have great character, ladies and gentlemen. Having a moral compass is important. You know, those things that they taught you when you were a child, you know, those things and the emphasis that they taught you as it relates to your character and your integrity, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, it is important for you to maintain great character. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting a call in. We're getting a call in. Go ahead, caller. You're on live with the Pounce Coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to agree with some of the things that you were stating. By the way, this is DeVoe Sherman. I want to kind of add to it, and really just thank you for shedding light, on how the resiliency part is just so important. Because what a lot of people don't understand is like, yes, you're going to go through things. You're going to have obstacles. There's going to be issues that's going to be in your way, different barriers. But at the same time, if you don't know how to go through those barriers, right, if you don't know how to have self-control, if you don't know how to, speak light into your own self, have that positive determination going, like if you don't have a plan in place, then you plan to fail. And, and I think that's one of the key things about our people. We've always been resilient. But I think some people cannot tap into that resiliency because even through, because I look at it like, history. If the slaves would have just gave up and died in the Middle Passage, we wouldn't be here right now. So you got to think like all those things that they went through, they were resilient. They were trying to figure it out. They kept trying to figure it out, and then they finally figured it out, and now we're here. So resiliency is definitely important, and we got to take care of ourselves. I know running around being an entrepreneur, sometimes we forget about ourselves because we're out there helping other people, but we do have to take care of ourselves mentally, emotionally, socially. We have to do these things, and because it can definitely take a toll on the body. Like I just got doing a program, a speaking engagement. I'm like, hey, there's a networking event, and I'm like, you know what? I can't go to that today. I need me time. Yeah. So everything that you're saying is on point. I love it. Keep it going, brother.
Hey, DeVoe, we appreciate your conversation, man, and your contribution to the conversation. I think you touched on a lot of great points there, man. Let me ask you a question while I got you on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we got DeVoe Sherman on the line with the Pounce Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Pounce Talk Live here at Tuck Radio. Hey, can you talk about what resilience looks like in entrepreneurship? I know you touched on it a little bit, but can you go a little deeper of what resilience looks like in the area of entrepreneurship?
Oh boy! Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this one. So what it looks like is you have a product or service, right?
Yes,
you're
sir.
providing, but it's not. You have no customer base. Nobody is willing to buy it. Nobody's willing to, support it. Nobody's willing to support it at all. So what happens is during that first year or during those first 6 months, what you see, you're spending a lot of money, right? You're spending a lot of money, and you don't even have the time. You don't even know where the money is going.
Absolutely.
So you thinking in your mind, you're like, oh man, nobody's supporting me. I ain't got no support. So you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you rant, you express about how nobody's supporting you. But at the same time, if you already gave up on yourself, then how the hell do you think somebody's going to be willing to support you? My first 2-3 years, my first 1 to 3 years of doing my business, absolutely no support from my family at all.
Wow.
Probably I would say maybe 1 or 2 people at the most, but it wasn't what I need. It was a minimal support. I'll say that. But it's like at the same time, if I didn't care enough to be resilient, if I didn't care enough to figure out what I was trying to do, then how can somebody support my dreams? Because it's like if you don't put the effort, time, the energy into it, then don't expect somebody to put dollars behind your idea.
You're absolutely right, man.
It just doesn't make sense. I've been 6 years in the game with doing this, mentoring, tutoring kids, but trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But it's like, hey, you made it through the first 2-3 years. I'm like, yeah, because I'm resilient. I really want to figure it out. It's passion. It's not about what I do. It's the passion of how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how you blow up. People see that passion. People see that light, and they like, dang, man, you ain't got a lot of supporters, but you doing it. How's that even possible? Because I want to see it happen. You know what I mean? I love myself more than anything else. And that's what it's really about. It's really about having that self-motivation, that self-happiness. Mm-hmm. Even when you think about it, even though I said like, oh, my family didn't support me, but it's like, when have you ever supported yourself?
Wow.
You got to invest in yourself first before anybody can come. That's like somebody on the highway, you got a scenario, one guy, his car broke down or whatever, and it's in the middle of the highway. And then you got this other guy, his car broke down, but he's trying to push it because he care enough, about the cars that's coming up that he may get hurt, the other people may get hurt, and may cause a big accident. So if you look at those two scenarios, you got somebody that's trying to push a car, even though he can't push the car by himself, but he still tries to do it. You know what I mean? He still tries, but he knows he can't do it. But it's like, hey, I don't want these people to get hurt. I'm going to try to do it anyway. And then next thing you know, somebody comes out and support them. Yeah, 3, 4 people showing up. It happens all the time. When something bad occurs and you see somebody sitting on the highway just waving a hand, you're not going to support them. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing? You're not even helping your own self. But if I see somebody pushing a car, trying to get it off the road, I'm going to definitely support them because they try. They're not just standing there waiting from a sign from God and say, hey, I need help.
Yeah.
I ain't asked to be here. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's like,
hey, DeVoe, I appreciate, man, you making some great points, man. Ladies and gentlemen, those that are just joining us Facebook Live, we got a great conversation going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We're discussing great mental health. How do we pounce great mental health? My special guest is on his way, but we got a great caller online right now. His name is DeVoe Sherman, and we're getting to the topic of resilience. And so those that are just joining us, we're talking about resilience and how we build resilience as it relates to mental health, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to add to the conversation, conversation, please drop a comment in the comment section. Please call us here live at the studio. The number is 513-792-2894. I want your questions. I want your comments. I want your input, ladies and gentlemen. Please call us here. We're talking about resilience. DeVoe is online with us currently. He is a 30 under 30 recipient, ladies and gentlemen, runs his own business. He is a mover and shaker here in the city of Cincinnati. Go ahead and wrap this up for us, DeVoe, because this is some great stuff.
So what I would say to anybody who wants to do whatever, you know, you have a dream, you have a business, you know, you have goals set in place, 2 words, go get it. Hey, just go get it.
Hey,
despite
I appreciate
all
that.
obstacles, whatever's going on, just go get it.
Absolutely.
It's simple. You want it. If you really want it bad, go get it. Yes, there's going to be obstacles and wait, but you got to go get it.
Yeah.
You got to go get it don't just go get it for you, but get it for your family.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be willing to do whatever it takes to make your own self happy.
Absolutely.
Go get it, man.
Hey,
go get it.
DeVoe, I appreciate you. And what you articulate right now, that's a Pounce mentality. That is a Pounce mentality. A Pounce mentality is a go-get-it mentality. As my brother would say, Shondo Blades, you get 1% better every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, and again, thank you for your call. We thank you for your call, DeVoe. Thank you for your call. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is important for you to understand that as it relates to mental health, as it relates to goals, as it relates to purpose, as it relates to dreams, you got to be resilient. Shout out to all those that are joining me via Facebook Live. My cousin is online. Kiana, we appreciate you being a part. Donisha Gaston of the I Change stage play, ladies and gentlemen. She's on live with us Facebook Live. We gave you a shout out earlier, sweetheart. Appreciate you joining us. My Uncle Keith Lippman is on. Appreciate you joining us. My brother Robert Walker is on. We appreciate you joining us. Lawrence Floyd, I see you, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you just joining us. Join in with the conversation. We're talking resilience, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking resilience as it relates to mental health, as it relates to keeping a positive mindset despite the things that you're going through. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to call in here at the station. Call in here at the station at 513-792-2894. Join in with the conversation. DeVoe Sherman, Cincinnati's own, was just online with the Pounce coach, and we were talking about resilience, and he began to connect resilience not only to mental health, but he was connected it to entrepreneurship. And I believe that is a universal state of mind, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be resilient. Whenever you're going through life, things will come to knock the wind out of you, but you got to remain resilient, ladies and gentlemen. You got to remain strong. You got to remain diligent. You got to keep your head. Go to put that down in the comment section. In order to remain resilient, you got to be willing to keep your head, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the time for you to lose your head. And I know there's a lot of things that could stress us out, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's a lot of things that may come to stress us out. I cannot tell you the amount of things that have happened this week alone that made me want to stop, ladies and gentlemen, that made me want to quit. But I made up in my mind that I have not come this far to look back. I have not come this far to step backwards. But I got to keep moving on, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this last week, the 4 dimensions of Pounce. The first dimension was identification. The second dimension was education. The third dimension is preparation. And the fourth dimension is implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, in all those sections and all those dimensions of Pounce, there is motion, ladies and gentlemen, and there is a level of resiliency that is necessary and that must be exercised in going and pursuing your dreams and purposes, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, we got to remain resilient, and we've got to remain focused on what we're going afterwards, ladies and gentlemen. So please, 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 join in with us in the conversation. Hey, I want to hear from you. Call us here at the station. You can get us in here at 513-792-2894. That's 513-792-2894. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your questions. I want to hear what you got to say as it relates to resiliency. I would love to hear from my brother Lawrence Floyd. I would love to hear from him as it relates to resiliency, as it relates to being resilient, even in trauma, ladies and gentlemen, even in adversity. What does resiliency look like in trauma? What does resiliency look like in adversity, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, I believe resiliency looks like keep going. It looks like an attitude and motion that speaks to a continuation and a determination to build and a determination to keep moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to remain resilient, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody said it was going to be easy, then we would have already accomplished it. If somebody said it was going to be easy, then we would have already pounced it, ladies and gentlemen. But we've got to remain resilient, ladies and gentlemen. Another component as it relates to building resiliency in our lives, as it relates to mental health, is our faith and spirituality. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to remain faithful. We've got to keep our faith intact. We've got to make sure that we're believing and trusting that God is going to see us to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you're not going to be able to do this on your own. But ladies and gentlemen, please don't misunderstand. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying by this. Ladies and gentlemen, faith without works is dead. You're going to have to put your hands to the plow, and you're going to have to get out here and get it, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have to get out here and keep a positive mindset, ladies and gentlemen, because let me tell you something. The battlefield is in the mind. I'm telling you, I cannot tell you how much adversity you're going to face in your mind, and you're going to become weary in well-doing sometimes. But ladies and gentlemen, when you make a decision to keep going, you're not going to faint. You're not going to faint, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to faint, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to understand that your faith is important in this journey. Your spirituality and remaining centered and remaining steadfast and unmovable in your faith, it's important to this journey, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't get it twisted. Please don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to have to remind yourself of the word. You're going to have to remind yourself, you're going to have to call on your accountability, your circle of accountability to help you, remind you of the things that have already been promised to you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you, it can be hard sometimes. It can definitely be hard sometimes. Another key to building resiliency and in your life is humor. You gotta laugh, ladies and gentlemen. When's the last time you just laughed hysterically? Ladies and gentlemen, I got a couple of things. I got a couple of things that'll make you laugh. Kanye West. He will make you laugh nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Kanye West. We're praying for him. But that's his perspective. Everybody has different perspectives, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. But ladies and gentlemen, in order to have great mental health, you've got to laugh. You've got to incorporate some type of humor in your life. I am sick and tired of serious acting people all the time. People that walk around and don't know how to just let life, be life sometimes and just laugh at things. Sometimes you're going to have to laugh to keep from crying. Sometimes you're going to have to laugh to keep from doing something crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to one of the best stylists, one of the best entrepreneurs in the city of Cincinnati, ladies and gentlemen. She's actually also my aunt, so I'm kind of biased. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Miss Katana Gibson, ladies and gentlemen. Katana Gibson, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. She has entered the conversation. She is in a divine moment. We're talking about mental health and pouncing great mental health, ladies and gentlemen. And we're talking about one of the ways that you build great mental health around resiliency is humor. And I can't tell you, Katana Gibson, my aunt, is hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. But humor, you got to embrace humor. And it took me a while to really embrace that mindset, because I thought life was supposed to be very serious. I thought you were supposed to remain stoic and take everything seriously and this, and the third. But you got to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. Laughter is a medicine, ladies and gentlemen. Laughter is a medicine. I cannot encourage you enough. Get out here and put yourself around some funny people and get out here and laugh. Now, I'm not saying laugh at people's situations. I'm not saying that. But you got to take a joke or two. Watch a comedy show. Watch a comedy special. Get around some children. They'll make you They'll make you laugh, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to model great mental health, you've got to laugh. You've got to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to laugh. You have got to laugh, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, We're talking about resiliency. This is Pounce Talk Live, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Montez Sorrells. I am the Pounce coach here at Tuck Radio. We are talking mental health. How do we pounce mental health? How do we pounce resiliency, ladies and gentlemen? What we're doing is we're just going over some practical characteristics of resiliency and some elements of how you can really practice and develop great resiliency. So we talked about optimism and being optimistic, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about having a moral compass. We talked about the importance of faith and spirituality. We talked about how it's important to laugh and have humor. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to add another element to the situation. Having a role model is important in your life, in building resiliency, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you the amount of people that I look to as they model this attitude of resiliency, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you, ladies and gentlemen, how important it is to have strong people in your life that models resiliency, ladies and gentlemen. You need individuals that are role models of strength, and not only that, people that you can draw strength from, ladies and gentlemen. I tell people this all the time. Shout out to Aunt Patrice Tobel, a major educator here in the city of Cincinnati. Shout out. Thank you for joining us. Listen, I tell people this all the time. People can either do one of two things in relationship with you. They can either add to you or they can subtract from you. They can add to you or they can subtract from you, ladies and gentlemen. And so you want people that can add to you. You want people that can add strength to your life. You want people that can add accountability to your life. You want individuals that can add help and care and nurture to your life, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say this. You want people that can add truth to your life. Uh-oh. That's something we don't want to deal with, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of times we end relationships because they are in a place or in a position where we're not ready to embrace truth. We're not ready to embrace truth, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, we've got to get and remain in a place where we have role models. We have individuals that are in our lives modeling strength from us, people that we can seek treatment from, ladies and gentlemen, people that we can seek truth from, ladies and gentlemen, people that are modeling what you want to be in life, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I have so many different role models for so many different compartments in my life. I have marriage role models. I have role models that are role models for business. I have role models for spirituality. I have role models of leaders, of leadership, ladies and gentlemen. It's necessary for growth. Thank you, Patrice Tobel. It is necessary for growth. Role models are necessary for your growth. And whatever is not growing, ladies and gentlemen, it's dying. Whatever is not growing, it is dying, ladies and gentlemen. You have to keep that in mind as it relates to your development, as it relates to your growth. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever is not growing, it's dying. And so you got to make sure that you are keeping yourself around people that are models, that are role models of strength, role models of joy, role models of courage, ladies and gentlemen. Role models, because it is important. It is important for you to understand that you can't do this by yourself. You're not going to do this by yourself. You're never going to be able or never be in a place where you do this by yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You never will. You never will. And so you gotta stay in pocket, and you gotta make sure that you're keeping that circle of people in your life as it relates to your circle of accountability. You need social supports, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to be mentally healthy, you need social supports. Please, those that are still joining us, please, we want your comments. We want your questions. We would love for you to call us here live at the station, here at 513-792-2894. Please, we're talking great mental health. How do we pounce resiliency? How do we pounce great mental health, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I am a strong proponent of, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What is your mindset as it relates to who you are? What is your mindset as it relates to what God has said you are? What is your mindset as it relates to your identity, ladies and gentlemen? I can tell you what kind of a person you are based on your thoughts. I can tell what kind of person you are going to be based on your thoughts. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a licensed professional counselor. Our special guest has just joined us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please give us a round of applause for our guest here today, licensed professional counselor, Mr. Andre Carpenter. Ladies and gentlemen, please give us a round of applause for Andre Carpenter. You made it, man.
I made it.
You made it.
I broke a few laws. It's probably not a good idea, but I made it.
Oh, it's all good. I'm glad you're here, man. Again, we are talking how do we pounce great health, mental health? How do we pounce resiliency? Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and it is a pleasure to have my guest with me today. He is a licensed professional counselor. I'm going to give him an opportunity. Go ahead and get yourself comfortable, man, because we want you to contribute to the conversation. So we're talking mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, Andre.
Right.
And before we get into what we've been talking about earlier, I just want you to give an opportunity. I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the listening audience and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Like you said, Andre Carpenter, born right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Represent those Princeton Vikings. Like I said, went to Wright State, graduated with a bachelor's in communications, then decided I was never, ever, ever going back to school. Didn't need it, but apparently God and some other people had some other plans, and I ended up getting my master's from a place called the University of Holy Cross in New Orleans, Louisiana. So that's where I got the master's in clinical mental health counseling.
Wow, that's what's up. So he's credentialed up, ladies and gentlemen. So he knows what he's talking about. So I asked this gentleman to come on. I trust his knowledge as it relates to the topic, and so I asked this young man to come on as it relates to mental health. And so here at Pounce Talk Live, Andre, Pounce is my lifestyle brand, and Pounce, what we exist to do is to inspire and empower individuals to pursue their purpose, their passions, and their goals from an aggressive approach.
Okay.
And so that's what we're here to do. And so we believe that an element of Pounce can be found in everything that we do, from getting up in the morning, from taking care of our kids, taking care of our spouses, taking care of our temples, and so forth. And so as we talk about what it means to pounce mental health, by definition, from a clinical standpoint, what is really mental health?
Okay. I mean, mental health really is a combination of your thoughts and behaviors and emotions. It's all of that rolled into one.
Okay.
So it's not just what you think about something. It's kind of how you feel about that, and then how you play that out in your day-to-day life. It's how you respond to other people, to different things, to situations. It's all of that rolled into one.
All of that. So even how we respond, all of that is a part of mental health.
It is, because what will happen is, if, let's say, for instance, you are dealing with a situation where you just do not get along with your family.
Yeah.
Well, how you respond is definitely going to be something that you could come in and talk to a licensed counselor about and say, hey, we can teach you some tools on how to better cope with the situation that you're in, and then how to better respond to this when it actually happens. Because maybe you can't get away from it.
Right.
If you can't get away from it, then do that if it's a really bad situation. But if you can't, then what you're going to need to know is you're going to need to have the tools to be able to use to be able to respond effectively until you can get away from it. So it's all that.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Andre Carpenter, licensed professional counselor. He's credentialed up, ladies and gentlemen. My special guest here, Pounce Talk Live, Tug Radio. So as we get more deep into this conversation of mental health and resiliency, how important is it for us to maintain great mental health?
So I think it's very important, but I think, for most people, they don't understand if they even really are taking care of themselves or not. One of the main things that they used to teach us in school is counselor, know thyself.
Wow.
That means we have to know who we are first, one, before we can start helping anybody else, right?
Wow.
And then one of the things that they preach to us, literally, and I say preached on purpose, is self-care.
Self-care.
Because what will happen is, just like anybody else, especially if you got a loving or caring personality, you'll try to take care of everybody else, but you won't take care of yourself.
Sure.
So I think that's the thing that people need to realize is, you may be going about your day, you may be taking care of your kids, you may be taking care of a family member, you may be taking care of your job, but if you're not taking care of yourself, then everything else is gonna fall away from there.
I like that point of self-care, ladies and gentlemen. And we were talking about this earlier before you got here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Andre Carpenter, licensed professional counselor. We were talking about self-care, but we really didn't get into it too much. But we got a caller that called in, and he was talking about resiliency, and he began to touch on self-care as it relates to entrepreneurship.
Right.
So, but from a clinical standpoint and a practical standpoint, what does self-care really look like, Andre?
So I think it's going to be different for everybody. So if your self-care is whatever it is that gives you that peace, whatever it is that calms you down, whatever it is that brings you back to center.
Good
so
point.
some people meditate, some people listen to music, some people sing, some people do different things like the same routine every day. Is what makes them happy. Now some people, it could be OCD if he goes way far to the other end of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
But yeah, your self-care is whatever it is that you do that can bring you back to center, that can bring you back to peace. So let's say your self-care is you are a spiritual person and you really, really have faith in God. Okay, when you're in those moments, then you need to figure out something that works for you to bring you back to center. So if you're in that moment where you're hot, something happened at work, and you're just, I'm out of my, I'm just mad, I'm upset, or whatever. Whatever it is that brings you back, if that's prayer, do that. If it's meditation where you step away and go someplace for 5 minutes and just go to a quiet, calm place, you do that. Whatever it is that you like to do that brings that peace back to you, that is going to help you get back to that.
Hey, man, this is some real practical, good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Andre Carpenter, licensed professional counselor. He's talking here live with the Pounce Coach. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying this conversation thus far, please drop a comment in the comment section. And we would love for you to join in the conversation. Give us a call here at the station, here at 513-792-2894. That's 513-792-2894. I love that you touched on self-care. And I think for a lot of us, especially black men specifically, we kind of struggle in this area of self-care because we've got a lot of responsibility on our backs and we've got a lot of things on our plate. So as it relates to self-care, can you talk about the Messiah syndrome, so to speak, as it relates to just feeling like you got to handle everything all at once, you got to save everybody? Can you begin to talk about that?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think the biggest thing that we can say starting off is we can't. We can't do everything.
Put that down in the section, Sandy. We can't save everybody.
We can't. I mean, and there is there's nothing else to color that and make that sound better. I think a lot of people want things that sound good. No, you can't save everybody. So the first thing you're going to have to do is eat that, swallow it, and meditate on it and digest it and allow it to be a reality for you. Because I think a lot of people don't do that. A lot of men especially, we don't do that because we feel like we are head of household or, we got to take care of our mom or dad or family, whatever. Yeah. So I think, we have to understand that we have limitations.
Wow.
We have limitations, and we definitely need to do as much as we can, that makes us feel like we're doing something. But at the same time, if you are not taking that time to, you know what? If you ain't taking the time to go and get your hair cut, look good, smell good, get you a nice suit or something, if you're not even taking the time for yourself, again, you're not going to be good to anybody else because you're going to get burnt out. It may not happen today, and you may have been going like this for, 3 years. You've been going strong. It may not happen today, but at some point you are going to hit that wall, and you don't want to do that, especially if it's an emergency and you hit that wall. Yeah.
So, hey, again, call us here at the station. You have any comments? You want to add any input to the conversation? Shout out to Asia Parham. Hey, I see your comment here. She says my son needs a black male counselor. So we're gonna actually end later on in the conversation. We're gonna talk about some of the different resources that Andre may be aware of in the community that can support your son. So please stay tuned to us. Andre, as it relates to stress, man, what are the physical implications of stress? What is the physical impact that stress can have on the body?
The first couple things that tend to happen, this isn't always the case. Everybody's body is different, right?
Okay.
But the first things that tend to happen is high blood pressure.
Sure.
You basically can get headaches. I know it was a situation where I was stressed not too long ago. High blood pressure, headaches. You're tired because you don't sleep well. Yeah.
So let me stop you right there. So stress has a direct impact on the physical body?
Stress has a direct impact on the physical body and can make you sick if you're too stressed and don't take care of yourself.
when you begin to talk about rest, a lot of us are sleeping, but we're not resting.
You're not resting.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, if your mind is still moving, you know you're that person that's just like, man, my mind is always going even when I'm sleeping. You're really not getting good rest. Or if you think, oh, well, I'm going to go all the way until 4 o'clock in the morning and then I'm going to sleep till 6 and get back up and do it all over again, your body doesn't even have a chance to get into the deep sleep that it needs to repair itself and get you ready for that next day.
Wow.
So you have tuned it in to just running off of fumes.
Right.
So it's doing that, but it's doing that the best way it knows how, and you will, more than likely, you will get sick. Or you're more susceptible to getting it, and your immune system can suffer from it too. So if you are taking care of yourself, getting exercise, rest, water, eating well, it builds your immune system up. If you're not doing any of those things, then it will weaken that and you can get sick.
So what do you say to a person, and you can answer this the best way you can from a clinical professional standpoint. So what do you say to a person who has dealt with trauma, who has dealt with depression, and they're not really sleeping well at night? What are some things that they can put into place to kind of assist them until they find that normal pattern of rest?
So that one's kind of difficult, but I'll try to be succinct. When you're dealing with trauma, if we're talking about true trauma, I mean, it could be high impact, something that was really, really terrible for them. It could be something that was not as bad and they're just sort of dealing with it. So it sort of depends on what it is.
Sure.
I think you definitely need to talk to somebody about it. I'm not necessarily, I get people like, well, money is funny and this and that. But if you have had something happen to you that's been traumatic, whether it be something on your job, an injury, some people's trauma is they got injured on the job and they're not scared of the injury. They're scared of what does life look like without me doing this job.
Totally.
So I think people you need to talk to somebody and you need to develop some of the tools. The tools are going to be different for everybody to get them over that hump of trauma. But trauma is nothing to be played with.
Yeah, I even want to take it a step further. I mean, I was told that a lot of people endure trauma even after 9/11. You know, and these people weren't in New York when 9/11 occurred.
Trauma does not have to be, you do not have to physically be present to suffer a trauma. You can either be told the trauma. So there's something that we won't talk about today, but there's something called transgenerational trauma where it just travels through the generations.
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, when you think about African Americans and slavery, there's a trauma there that travels through the generations.
But I'm going to interject, but slavery was a choice. Slavery was a
Oh,
choice,
no.
right?
Is Kanye here? Is Kanye around the corner? Not at all. So I think that, I mean, you don't have to physically have been at 9/11. You could have been watching it on TV, and that still could be a traumatic event.
Yeah, that's so true.
You could have not watched it on TV, and may they rest in peace, one of the victims being one of your family members, and you're affected by that or something like that. So you don't have to directly be there to actually suffer from traumatic effects.
So what are some things that, besides, in addition to trauma, what are some things that impact mental health?
Oh man, you know the thing is everything, and I hate to say it like, well, man, we need some specifics. Well, what you eat.
Deal with that.
I mean, what you eat is definitely important because what you put into your body regulates your body. And if you are eating the wrong things, again, you can't think clear sometimes. I mean, that's important too.
Wow.
I get that there aren't the same restaurants and stores, whatever, in certain communities. I definitely get that. So you got to do the best that you can with what you have, but we got to try to stay off all these fast foods and diabetes and all that type of stuff. We got to get off of that stuff.
Definitely.
So what you eat, I think the situations that you allow yourself to be in. So if you continue to put yourself in certain situations that are highly stressful, it's going to have a negative effect on your mental health. So I think that, and what you listen to, what you bring into your body. So even what you watch on TV, if you know that is just, I know people who get livid watching the news, watching MSNBC or Fox. They get livid.
I would too.
I mean, you know what? And you know what? Maybe sometimes watch it, but if you know you watch it every single day and every day you get mad, you do realize that your blood pressure is raising every time you do that. So remember,
ladies and gentlemen, mental health stress has direct impact on the physical body. So you have to, we talked about this before Andre came into the studio, ladies and gentlemen. It's important to make sure that you maintain a positive mindset, a positive atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen, because Listen, stress has a direct impact on the physical body. He began to talk about foods and even, like you said, the music that we listen to and the things we watch on television. How important is it? You're a believer, so the word tells us to, guard our ear gates and our eye gates. Can you talk about that a little further as far as from a clinical standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I think whatever you spend most of your time on is pretty much what your mind will think about most of the time. If you're in books or things of that nature, you start thinking about those things. So one of the things is, I've heard people say meditate on it day and night, right?
Yeah.
Well, if all you're doing is watching TV, that's all you're gonna think about. So what you need to do is make sure you take breaks. Even if you love to do something, take breaks and then come back to center. Do that, calm, get you back to peace. It is for me. It might be prayer because, I believe in that. I believe that he is the God of peace. So I go to my God of peace when I need to really relax or whatever. So whatever it is that you need to do, if it's going fishing, if it's going for a drive or going walking, we all need to take that time to stop and come back to center so that we can remain healthy. And then not only now we're thinking healthy, now we're emotionally healthy. Now put the healthy stuff into our bodies so we can do well.
What does mental health look like for children?
It's similar. The difference with children is they're on a different developmental spectrum. So you have to understand, and maybe you don't as a parent or as somebody who's not in the clinical space, you have to understand where they are developmentally. So for instance, real quick, there are some people who have, 5, 6, 7-year-olds. Developmentally, there are certain things that their minds just can't comprehend. So you may be talking to them about, oh yeah, this is 3D, but they may not necessarily understand what you mean by 3D. So we can't, as parents, get mad at them because they don't understand. This is where they are, and developmentally, their brain can only handle so much at that time. But they may get stressed too. They may get mad. Their homework may not be getting done. They may. We see people who will. Play with dolls or whatever and tear their heads off the dolls you're not wondering, and they may tear their heads off of only one kind of doll. All the male dolls may have their heads taken off, but all the females aren't. Well, that's something that we're going to look at like, why'd you do that? So if you are struggling with your child, no matter what age they are, you definitely need to have them talk to somebody. Either there's counselors at schools usually you can go directly to them without having to pay for somebody.
That's good.
Or you can go out into the community and look on Psychology Today, which is where people can find my information as well. Psychology Today will run you through a list of counselors in your area, and then you just read what it says on there and then contact them and get a feel for them and decide if that's something that you want to do.
You said that's Psychology Today.
Psychology Today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join the conversation. Call us here at the station. We got a few more minutes before we wrap this thing up. 513-792-2894. 513-792-2894. My special guest, he's a great friend of mine, Andre Carpenter, licensed professional counselor. We got a call coming in. Come on, go ahead, caller. You're here live with the Pounce Coach and Andre Carpenter.
Shondo Blade.
Hey, what's up, Shondo Blade? Shondo Blade's the next action hero, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, man?
And I'm doing great, man. You guys are doing an excellent job on your program. I'm really enjoying it.
Hey, I appreciate that, bro. Go ahead with your comment or whatever you got.
I'm just saying, you guys are talking about mental health and things like that. And my little tidbit to add to the conversation, you know what I mean, because I like to add to the conversation, is that being a fighter has really taught me a lot of stuff about mental health. Being an entrepreneur has really taught me a lot of stuff about mental health. I guess I see it in a slightly different way because for me, the action is what stabilizes the mental health. You know what I'm saying? Like the actions of the small victories that we're able to get daily from doing something we love. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of mental health issues because most people are stuck in a rut of living a life of running on a hamster wheel and doing stuff that they really don't dig. So because of that, it's making them live a life that feels like it's not worth living as much as somebody who's having an exciting time every day.
You want to tackle that first?
Yeah, first of all, I agree. I definitely think life can get you down because a lot of people are not in the spot that they want to be in. So he gets no but from me. I will have an addition to that to say, absolutely. So that's another reason why we have to take the time out to really kind of find, because a lot of us are in that situation, we have to deal with it the best way we can until we can get out, until we can become those entrepreneurs, which I definitely think is a good idea if people want to start their own business if they want, but learn and research and educate yourself first before you do that. But I definitely think you have to take that time out in a day because you may not be doing that dream that you want to, and it can become frustrating. So you definitely have to take that time out every day, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes. Even if it's, we used to tell people, you know what? Take 5 minutes to write down whatever it is that your thoughts. Just it's almost like vomiting on paper. You open the book and you just write down whatever you're thinking. Put a timer on for 5 minutes, and when that 5-minute bell goes off, ding, close the book, put the pen down, and go about your day. What does that do? It's just the little things. If you don't have anybody to talk to, you just talk to that journal and you got it out versus keeping it in and having all that stress in you. So, yeah, I definitely agree that the day-to-day grind can get you down, especially if you're not living your dream.
And I also like to add to my bro, Shondo, hey, I'm the happiest when I'm doing what I feel I'm purposed to do. And it's something about being in context of exactly what you feel in your heart of hearts while you're still here on earth to accomplish. And there's a different kind of joy that takes place in my life personally when I'm in context and when I'm in purpose. So I appreciate your contribution and your point to the conversation. Hey, we appreciate, from the bottom of my heart, Shondo, I appreciate your continued support of me, bro. You've been a bro since day one. I appreciate you.
Man, you already know. I want to challenge your listeners to do something right now.
Go ahead.
I want to challenge your listeners to go from that point where they're saying, I'm not doing what I want to do right now, and hit the light switch. The same way we can walk in the room and turn the light off and on, I want them to do that right now. So if anybody's out there listening, if anybody's out there tuning in on Facebook Live or any other avenues or outlets that Ted's is promoting this thing on, I want you guys to flick that switch. Because I think a lot of people are spending time in that in-between stage. And I have a saying that I say, either you're going to ball or you ain't. It's only two ways in life. Either it's light or it's dark. You're going to ball or you're not. So I really want to challenge people to get to that point where they are doing what they love, and that's not going to come by passively trying to get themselves there. Absolutely. It's just going to come by either turning the light off or turning it on.
Hey, and that right there, Shondo, that's a Pounce mentality. That is a Pounce lifestyle. It's taking an aggressive approach to pursue exactly what you are going after. Hey, again, appreciate your contribution, bro.
Love, man. Y'all got to do your thing, baby. 1% better every day.
Every day, 1% better. That's the man, Shondo Blades. He's coming to a cinema screen near you. I'm telling you, y'all, he's the future.
And let me say one more thing real quick.
Absolutely.
So one of the major things that I like to base my therapy on is something called CBT. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Very
what
good.
that means is, and it's a spiritual component to it too. What that means is what you think is what you will do. So the cognitive part is what you think, and then the behavioral part is obviously how you act. So if you think it, you can become it or you will be it. So that's how I like to do. When people come and they talk to me about different things, I like to say, okay, let me see what you're thinking about. What are your thoughts? And if you're always negative about, I can't do this and I can't do that, then the chances are you're probably not going to be able to do it. But like my man said, if you go and say, you know what, I am going to do this. I am going to learn this. I don't know this, but I'm going to get this book. Then there's a chance that at least you'll get there. It may not be tomorrow, but you'll get there because you'll keep moving forward.
Man, let me tell you, Andre, I'm telling you, we were talking about this last week, and I premised our conversation. I was explaining to you what Pounce is, and I told you there's an element of Pounce in everything that we do. We talked about the 4 dimensions of Pounce last week. The first dimension being identification, identifying what you're going after, identifying that. The second dimension is education. You got to understand your prey. You got to understand the habits, the tactfulness of your prey. You got to understand how your prey gets in and out of where it is, the surrounding parts of it. And then we talked about the third dimension, which is preparation. You begin to talk about that, moving from no motion to motion, ladies and gentlemen. And then the last dimension is implementation. Everything, ladies and gentlemen, there is an element of Pounce in everything that we do, including mental health, ladies and gentlemen, including mental health. Man, this is good stuff.
Well, here's the thing, and please hear me when I say this. Please don't put your stones down. Don't throw them at me. I love the Lord. Let me say that one more time. I love the Lord.
You love who?
I love the Lord.
Okay.
That's just me. That's my personal, thought process, right?
Yeah.
But when I pray and I ask God for something, when I get up off my knees from praying, I got to do something.
Come on, man. We was talking about that.
And a lot of people don't do something.
A lot of people
they
don't
go
do
back
something.
down. They just waiting on God or they're praying.
Absolutely.
So you got to get up and do something. And in the meantime, while you're waiting on him to bring you somebody or whatever, get on the internet and look up how to start an LLC or how to start a business. How do you think I even got Focus Forward? I'm sorry, my company is Focus Forward LLC. How do you think I got that? I had to get online and learn what it means to start an LLC. And it's not really hard, and you really don't have to pay anybody else to do it.
Absolutely.
But you have to learn, and you have to keep on going. And I get that it's scary because it looks like it's so daunting because there's so many mountains in your way. Like, man, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know that. Well, take it a small bite at a time and just keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
But you got to do something. Pray, but faith without work is dead. So do some work.
Absolutely. And so as we talk about this work thing, I want to come in and bring some practicality as well, ladies and gentlemen. So can you speak on how exercise helps with mental health, specifically exercise? Shout out to Lakeisha McCurdy for the point. Shout out to Lakeisha McCurdy.
Well, what I should have done is called my wife, Dr. Carpenter. I should have contacted her. She'd have given you a little bit more of the medical aspect of it. But absolutely, sure. One thing I can say is, without going into the medical field so much, is when you get your blood pumping, when you get your body moving, the chemicals in your body works the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
When you are sedentary and you're sitting for long, or you're in front of the TV, or you're not exercising, not whatever, it doesn't perform like it's meant to.
Okay.
And it's designed for you to get up and be moving. Your muscles will get stiff if you don't move them. It's a lot of things that could possibly happen. So absolutely, exercise, number one, releases those chemicals to the brain. I told you, Dr. Carpenter. We gonna get that going. Right.
We got Dr. Carpenter on next.
We're gonna definitely do that. But no, yeah, definitely. There are definitely chemicals and things that are released in your body that make you feel better. You're actually clearer. One thing I encourage people to do is this: when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you need to do is go to the bathroom if that's something that you got to do.
Detox.
That's right. And drink you a full glass of water. There's a lot of people that go for that coffee that first thing in the morning. No, get you a full glass of water. You know why? Because it's fuel to your body. So if you are not fueling your body will not work right. And no, your brain will not work right. And so that means when you're talking about mental health, you're not going to be 100%. So get a full glass of water, get your breakfast, whatever that is. And you don't necessarily have to eat breakfast right away, but you definitely need that full glass of water because that'll turn everything on for you.
Definitely. Hey, man, this is some great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Andre Carpenter, Focus Forward LLC. He's a licensed professional counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to connect with him. How can people connect with you?
As of right now, you can do one of two things, or a couple things. You can go on Psychology Today and find my information. That's where I got the ad out right now. You can hit me at focusforward@gmail.com. Now, that's FOKUS, the number 4, WARD. FOKUS, the number 4, WARD. Eventually, probably the next 3 days, you can hit me up on focusforwardllc.com. I'm revamping everything right now. That's it,
because he's pouncing, y'all.
That's right.
Andre's pouncing.
That's right. We make it. You know what? I'm moving forward like my man said.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to do something because I'm tired of living the way I was living. We're going to do something. We're going to help these people. We're going to get this company going. We're going to change lives. That's
hey, we appreciate Andre Carpenter of Focus Forward LLC being a part of the conversation. Hey, we're going to definitely have him back on, ladies and gentlemen. As I stated, Mental Health Month, mental health awareness is all May, and so we're going to be focusing on some type of capacity as it relates to mental health and pouncing great mental health. Next week, I got a wonderful guest that's coming on. We're going to be talking about trauma-informed care and whatnot. So if you're available for that, you can you're more than welcome to join us for that conversation as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we have had a great time here at Pounce Talk Live. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to make everybody aware again. I think I've seen her on Facebook Live. Our Pouncer of the Week is none other than Miss Jovan Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Jovan Walker. Jovan Walker, think about it, LLC. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got a business, small or large, you need to connect with her. She will get your marketing, your branding, and take it to another level. So our Pouncer of the Week, ladies and gentlemen, again, sponsored by Pounce Lifestyle LLC, is Jovan Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, you can catch Pounce Talk Live here weekly on Thursday evenings at Tuck Radio. You can watch us via Facebook or watch us at www.tuckradio.com. On 7:30 weekly on Thursdays, we have some great content that is coming to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for joining us. We appreciate you contributing to our conversation. Please remember, the I've Changed stage play is tomorrow evening. If you got a mother's, a baby mama, a baby's mama, cousin, somebody, a single mama, everybody got a mama. You need to be bringing her to this play tomorrow evening. It will take place tomorrow at Cincinnati Christian University. Tuck Radio's own comedian Jabron Arnold will be the host. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a host of great singers and actors and actresses that will be a part. Ladies and gentlemen, what'd you say? Hey, the Pounce coach, Miss Sandy Tucker will be in the house, owner of Tuck Radio. Yours truly, the Pounce coach, will be in the building, along with my lovely queen, Jocelyn Sorrells, the styles counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we thank our guest tonight. We thank Mr. Andre Carpenter, licensed professional counselor, for being with us tonight. Please, we want you to share this broadcast with everyone that you know. So those, when you jump off of Facebook, please share this. We want this incredible information to spread all across the nation. We appreciate you. Hey, I sound off like this every week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue to pounce. Let's continue to get after it. Let's continue to get after our God-given purpose, because we believe here at Pounce Radio, Tuck Radio, Pounce Talk Live, that every day is a Pounce day. Every day is an opportunity for us to aggressively pursue our passions, our purpose from an aggressive approach. We love you. I'm here to support you. Keep pouncing. Until next time.